All hail Andy Raceworski, leader of the Liberalist Party. Welcome to the Cunstream, folks. Today we have Bruckus, Darnell, Igor, and Schmeckel's here in spirit only because he's off doing other things, and myself. Welcome.
I'm not sure if we should be hailing Raceworski, but I mean, I have no objections to it.
I'll do it. All right.
You can't see my face, but I'm hailing as hard as I can.
You can see me.
You can only hail meat flaps, though. Or with meat flaps. That's the only way you can.
Hey, no. Traps are welcome in the ethno state. All right, so you can hail. You can hail with your third arm. If you're a guy. Well, I want to say if you're a guy, but technically, if you're a woman, I mean, third arm's up and away. We're supposed to be talking about nerd stuff, but we'll take a small moment to talk about the hysterical moment today when someone trolled Sargon so hard. Andy Warski actually spent $1,300 to trademark liberalism.
Jesus!
I know
didn't know it was that much.
Well, here's the thing. It's only $1,000. But to get the papers that you need to sign is an extra. I think one was $100 to get, and the other one was $200 to get. And that $1,000, that's like globally, like world over.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had heard he had trademarked it internationally, not just within Canada. So that's why it was so expensive.
Yeah, it would have been less if you just did it in Canada, but he did it internationally. So that's we learned something. If you want to trademark something, make sure you have the money on hand.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he can, I think he can write it off as an expense, which is one thing. And second of all, the fans, gave him a bunch of money. So, I mean, he wasn't really out anything. I think by the end of the stream that he's doing now, he will have made all that money back.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. What's the average? 3,000 to 5,000 people watching at a time?
Yeah, I think it was just like a little over 2,000 this morning, and the stream that's on right now, which is why I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get many viewers tonight. But the stream that's on right now, I think they have like over 5,000. So obviously they're going to make their money back. So I mean,
okay. After hearing all of that, I have to say I officially bow down to the Warski. That is the greatest fucking troll anyone could have ever fucking done. And he did it to Sargon.
Yeah.
Of all the people you could troll that hard like that, I am seeking right now, sir.
The funniest thing I saw on Twitter, though, was people apparently on Reddit were plotting how they can get back at Andy for trademarking liberalist. And the funny thing is oh, he's breaking the law. He's breaking the law. It's all fraud. And all I can think is, well, he set up a website. He set out the quote mission statement for liberalists or Liberalism International. He has a product, as it were, which is the website to if for some reason they somehow goaded Sargon to drag him into court. But the thing is Sargon didn't own Liberalists because he never trademarked it. So.
Well, and liberalist, it's just
it's supposed to be a political movement anyways.
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, like, the word itself is a universal word. I mean, it's not really something that's ever been trademarked before. It's been used since, like the 1800s or even
probably later. Probably before that. But the thing is Andy Warski, based on the website I saw that people were posting, it's Liberalist International that's trademarked. So that would be I guess if Sargon really wanted to spend the money, he would have to just trademark liberalist movement or come up with some other title for his political group to trademark, and that would be it. So people are taking it way, way, way too hard. Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Crazy.
I want to talk to Andy so badly, and I want to just say, like, okay, Andy, we have to make rules with this thing that you've trademarked. But here's the best part. They don't have to be rules that need to be taken seriously.
Oh, they already have that up there. They already have that up there, apparently.
Oh, my God. I need to research more of this. I'm just going to...
You go to the website apparently. Yeah,
Well,
just look it up.
if you go on to Andy's stream right now, which I heaven forbid I have to recommend to go on someone else's stream, but if you go on there and you find some way to, I think on his Discord or something, and try to get in there, you can ask to be, I don't know, Secretary of Bacon if you wanted to, and he'll write you down on there, and you'll be given a credit in that regard. So I mean, yeah, if you want to do it that way, and then you can ask him about policies and stuff. I think someone asked them like, what's your policy on like what was it, raping traps? I think I might be paraphrasing that, but someone actually asked that. He says, well, good question. No, just don't no.
Oh,
You can't rape a trap.
I was hoping that his response.
Yeah, because the trap's gonna rape you.
Exactly. Oh my god. Yeah.
I know he's not hearing this, but Andy, if you're listening later, you need to put that in there.
You can't rape a trap because the trap rapes you.
Well, he is. He did say he's going to work on a book. It's going to be a garbage book. It's going to be called Mind Trap.
No. I'm not saying no as in like that's horrible. I'm saying like, you bastard, you could have called it my cunt.
No.
No. It's all about traps. It's
Okay.
yeah.
The ultimate trap culture novella. And then I guess another non-nerd related thing, but related to the Skeptosphere for those that haven't heard yet. The Kilroy event has moved to a new venue. They've left the Sheraton and apparently are at a whole new hotel. There's just one slight problem. Someone called the hotel and asked to find out about the event so they could, quote, pre-register, for the hotel room. The manager, the employees, and their corporate have no idea who Kilroy is, or what the Kilroy event is, and no one's contacted them yet about it.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
2 questions. What the fuck? And Kilroy isn't dead yet? It's still a thing?
Apparently, Base Mama has passed it off to some company that manages events and is apparently stepped away from running the event.
Oh, but I thought Base Mama does stuff like this all the time. Or was that her fucking partner who was also a goddamn liar?
Well, maybe
friend.
maybe we're thinking too far into this. We have to remember she has a really high IQ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
She's
it's
playing-
super high.
So she's playing 4D chess, but the 4Ds are dicks.
I thought they were her tits, but all right.
Wow.
Tummy sticks all around everybody.
Yeah, I don't know. So this is interesting. So who knows how that's going to turn out?
Well, I mean, if
Like
she's
shit.
got a company actually running the event, that company's probably going to work everything out. But the problem is I don't know if she's opened herself up to litigation at this point, because she made a lot of promises that had to be delivered on, none of which are going to really be delivered on. The whole event has changed. The speakers have changed. The hotel now has changed. So like, even if someone had already pre-registered, they're kind of SOL unless they're not within the closeout period and can actually still cancel their registration and get their money back.
So this is pretty much like the Peter Molyneux of conventions.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yay, somebody got my reference.
Oh, yeah, we know who Peter
Wow. Darnell, do you throw things like that out and no one gets it often?
Well, because you gotta remember, I'm finally with nerds.
Oh, yeah, that's true enough.
Yeah.
We are sad, human beings. We make all kinds of jokes and no one gets them.
Dude, you have no idea how many times I felt so isolated throughout my entire life because I would make references to like all kinds of different pop culture things. I would quote movies and people would just look at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, did you never see Back to the Future? What the fuck?
Oh, Devo, you should have came here when we just started. We just wrapped up talking about Andy's trap no state.
And he ain't talking the indie music scene.
Suffice it to say, we are very entertained, and I look forward to seeing how this turns out.
But just to show, and this will make Igor kind of upset. There was one time I referenced Spock I referred someone to Spock, and they didn't know who I was talking about.
Oh, that's sad.
You referred to someone as what?
Spock.
Oh, Spock. Okay.
Yeah, you got to remember though that like there are certain levels of nerd jokes that even like the most casual of nerd would not get.
Well, and nerd culture is its own little subgroup. It hasn't been a necessary part of society till fairly recently. I'll give you an example. I mean, back in the back when cars were, holy shit! Forget what I just said because I totally forgot what I was saying. Sorry, I got distracted.
Were you trying to compare us to like the Grease Monkeys from like the 50s?
Oh, I may have been. Fuck it. Don't trust me. Samaj is
just go on that. Just go with that.
Yeah, let's go. What? I don't know how the fuck that happened. In fact, you guys know what happened, but I'm not talking about what
Okay,
happened.
so I think I know what you're talking about. All right, there are various different subcultures when it comes to nerd culture itself. There are the comic book nerds, there are the movie nerds, there are the music nerds, there are the history nerds, so on and so forth. And then, of course, you've also got what are also known as geeks. Now, typically, the geeks are actually the pop culture people, and the nerds are actually the academics. But honestly, who gives a fuck? You're arguing semantics for the same basic shit.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua is trying to keep one foot outside of geek culture by claiming they're only half a geek.
You're a fucking liar, Josh. You're on YouTube. You're geek enough.
Resistance is futile, Josh.
One of my good buddy who he's very, very, very wealthy. He pretends when he's in when at work that he is not a geek. He pretends, he puts on this facade of just being your typical 9 to 5 upper level management who knows nothing of the ways of nerd culture. The second he gets home, Star Wars, Star Trek, anything and everything geek culture, he has $30,000 worth of Warhammer figures.
I like him already.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's still a very common thing where, I mean, to be a nerd is still a very embarrassing thing to admit to. Even when, let's say, like, if you're like me and you're trying to do the dating scene, it's like, do I even want to try talking nerd talk with these ladies? I don't even know if I want to bother.
Samaj, that's why you got to pick up the girls at the comic book shop or the hobby shop.
I don't know.
No.
Maybe where he's at, the girls at the comic book shop look more like the Wolfman.
No, here's the thing. There have been some, in my particular comic shop that I like to frequent, there have been some really hot girls in there. But here's the problem. In my particular province, we had a huge amount of SJWs that came in here. They all are bright colored hair, and they all buy. I see them. They're buying like copies of Squirrel Girl and Miss Marvel. And my comic shop is one of the few comic shops, like the exceptions, that can say that Marvel actually does well.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's because we have a huge amount of people out there that are deep into this identity politics nonsense. But yes.
Oh, I was gonna actually just put in like my comic book shops all suck. Like, well, no, they don't suck. But my comic book shops, because I've got 2 of them, they do not sell.
The only comic book shop that used to be in this town closed shop a year after I left for college back in 01.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There is no comic shops near anywhere around us.
The one main one is the Newberry Comics, and that's kind of been under hot water because of the rape dungeon joke.
What's wrong with
Wait.
rape dungeons?
Wait, what? What rape dungeon joke?
So in the Newberry Comics, at like the bottom where people would play like Magic and D&D and so on and so on, there used to be a joke that people would used to call it the rape dungeon because it looked like somewhere that would be a fucking rape dungeon, like the stairways is like gross and slime. Well, you get what I mean. Like it's like Hearthstone. It's like there's a single light bulb. Blah 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 blah. And you can automatically imagine how people took offense to that.
Right. It was a joke, but they took it a little too harsh. Wow, that's a horrible thing for a comic shop to have to deal with.
It was down to the point that people actually thought that it wasn't a joke, but that like supposedly there was a actual secret rape room in the.
It's amazing how quickly stupidity can spread and infect.
Hold on, I can actually show it because they actually remembered there was a Jezebel article about it.
Oh, for
here we go.
Really? An actual Jezebel. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, comic shops often get the bad publicity in regards. They say a bunch of sweaty nerds and people who just frequent these places. They're only half true. Yeah, they're nerds and stuff, but they're not terrible people. I mean,
sorry.
Go for it.
Look, as I was saying, if I was back in Salem right now, and there wasn't a blizzard going on right now, I would literally go down to that Harrison's, take a picture with me, and show you and say, would you not consider this a fucking rape dungeon? This is the most creepiest room one of the creepiest rooms I have ever seen. And it's like, of course you would fucking call it a rape room.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if I've seen it, yeah, there's a lot of creepy looking places out there. Honestly, like if it's connected to a comic shop, though, I think it sort of adds to the charm depending on what it is you're doing.
It kind of like I said, this is it's like the place where people would play like Magic and like have like bigger conventions so like you wouldn't necessarily be crowding up the stores, but like I said, it's just walking down the stairs to this like cold stone room with one light bulb dangling up.
No, but then that means
that
it really
Katun's
is a
apparently
rape
wants to tell us something in chat, so go ahead, Katun. I'll keep an eye on the chat.
Okay, but also, I mean, like if the stairway looks that bad or whatever else, just find some like lamps or something, like medieval looking lamps if you can, and just sort of attach them in there. It'd be a perfect little place to come in there and play Magic.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like that means that is in fact a rape dungeon, because if anyone has ever played Dungeons and Dragons, you know at some point the DM or the game or your dice are just gonna fuck you without warning.
Yeah, practically. But I mean, did this store shut down before the Magic the Gathering controversy?
Oh no, it's still open. It's just that it's just that there was for a long time there was this huge controversy, and then people started to manipulate it down to the point that people actually thought it actually was a rape room.
Okay, Kadunt has posed the following: Nick Cage as Superman in the Teen Titans movie.
As a guy who did follow like the Kevin Smith Superman movie that didn't happen, honestly, yeah, do it.
Let's go for it.
I'm okay with it.
I want to see wild-eyed, crazy Nick Cage as Superman.
Nicolas Cage was just as passionate about
not the kryptonite.
Wow. Yeah. So is this an actual Teen Titans movie?
Yeah, it's the Teen Titans Go movie.
Never mind. That's less exciting.
Yeah,
that's not exciting.
Guys. The prospects of any DC movies at this point, unless they are the really good animated movies, it's all a shit show to me. So you might as well bring in an actor who knows how to play up a shit show like nobody else.
Also, it's Teen Titans. Who fucking cares about Teen Titans? That was a terrible show.
My
I know
niece.
that it still has a fan base, and I get that. But me personally, it's fucking terrible.
I thought it was actually pretty decent. It really did actually give that feel of, you know, it's a comic book, but it's also for kids. Plus, if you pay attention to the animation and all that stuff, it did take a lot of inspiration from anime and stuff like that. So it only made sense.
No, it's not. But it's not that Teen Titans. It's Teen Titans Go one. It's the one that was more geared towards little kids.
Teen Titans Go, yeah, that's just Teen Titans on crack, and it's a guilty pleasure of mine because
you know
I've
what they
watched
should
it.
do a
I
live
hate
action
myself
of?
when I watch it.
You know what they should do a live action of? The Young Justice.
Oh,
Like
yes.
if they want to do a reboot, do a hard reboot, but of Young Justice, and like fuck any pretenses of like not copying. Just make a bunch of movies like using the script from the fucking animated series.
Well, I know that there is a Batman TV series, and I think it's a Teen Titans one. They did release that picture of Robin.
Yeah, the Titans show.
Yeah, that I'm a little bit more excited for. When Gadant was saying Nicolas Cage, I thought they meant in that one. I'm like,
No,
oh,
it's in Teen Titans Go movie.
right,
The newest news about the Titans show is that they got someone to play Jason Todd for the pilot, because apparently Red Hood is going to be in the pilot.
I'm sorry, I'm cracking up because Failure has apparently gotten into the chat, and he's basically talking shit. He said "fuck you, Zal," and I'm still cracking up about that. I don't know why that was so funny to me.
Okay, but now should I go into the main article, the opening piece of this entire shit show?
Sure.
Yeah.
We might as well. We're here to talk nerd stuff. I did also want to point out one thing before you get there, is that there's a lot of love for Kevin Smith and what he does at DC. I remember there was a particular, I think it was an animated movie with the Toy Man with a giant robot spider, and Kevin Smith was literally in the crowd making comments about giant spiders. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch An Evening with Kevin Smith. It talks about dealing with Warner Brothers and the insanity that is Warner Brothers, or at least the one guy that works there.
Yeah, the former hairstylist that somehow became a producer.
Somehow
Yes.
this hairstylist got that job. It blows my mind to think about, but I mean, it is what it is.
It's stranger things have happened in Hollywood.
All right, so this is the moment we've all been waiting for. The article that makes the Matt Walsh one literally looks like a 5-year-old's essay. How video games are fueling the rise of the far right by Alfie Brown. All right, should I read this, or does somebody else want to?
I guess you could read that. I can't read it. I'm a little preoccupied right now.
Donald Trump's claim in the aftermath of the Florida school shooting that these events are the result of violent video games. Resurrects old arguments about whether young people emulate the games they play. The World Health Organization, WHO, recent decision to consider video game addiction an official illness, shows comparable concern. However, these responses demonstrate anxiety about the right things for the wrong reasons. Darnell, I hate you for presenting this.
No, trust me, it gets worse. It gets worse.
Gaming cultures are connected to violence, but should be considered in terms of the rise of far-right political discourse and the prominence of alt-right misogyny and, oh my God, and racism. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it gets worse. Brockets, read it. It gets worse.
While Trump is firmly on the right, and oh no, he's not, and the WHO may embody normative centrism, there is an aspect of gaming that should worry the progressive left. Fuck off.
It gets, baby, I'm so close. Come on.
The white male supremacy, god damn it. In gaming, son of a fucking bitch, this is giving me an aneurysm, has been discussed to the context of the harassment campaign Gamergate and via the link between Trump and Gamer Message Board. Threads on fucking 4chan websites, of course, 4chan. Yet it's not simply that many gamers are right-wing or that the right recruits gamers, but that the logic and pleasure of gaming itself has severed the served and continued to serve the political right. Games are ideological constructions which push a set of values on the user. Like television and film, they often support the ideologies of their context. In the Bush years, American games endorsed aggressive foreign policy. Since Brexit, British game advocate isolationism or nostalgia for empire. The prominence of anti-Islam games in the 2000s tell it all.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
What
Are you fucking kidding me?
What? They give no examples. They're just saying these things happened, but they're not listing anything.
These were games that were planned years in advance, and were being worked on during administrations, and most of the companies were not fans of the Bush administration or the Obama administration or currently the Trump administration, but the games were being developed anyways because that was what they fucking do as game developing companies. They make the video games that the fans want. Was Halo really fucking popular? Abso-fucking-lutely. So of course a sequel was made, and then another one, and then another one, and a prequel.
Raucous, just wait. You're right next to my two favorite paragraphs of this entire article.
However, video games have at least two unique features compared to the media. First, right-wing ideologies have been overrepresented and dominated throughout the history of video games. That's false. Although affected by context, the video games have long focused on the expulsion of aliens. Oh my God. Space Invaders to XCOM, Fear of Impure Infection, Half-Life to The Last of Us, Border Control, Missile Commander to Planet vs. Zombies, or Plants vs. Zombies.
Wait, Border Control for Missile Commander? You're talking about a game from like the 70s?
No, yeah. And also Plants vs. Zombies, Igor.
Yeah, a fucking phone app game.
Is pro-Trump.
Territory Acquisition, Command and Conquer, of course, to Splatoon. Empire Building, Civilization to Tropico. Princess Recovery, oh my God, Mario to Zelda, and the Restoration of Natural Harmony, Sonic to Farmville. You've got
it. Sonic is alt-right.
Oh my God. Most of those games were made before the alt-right movement even came into existence.
So I just want to know, so are the alt-right the real environmentalists?
Apparently so.
Is the Sahara Club and Greenpeace now alt-right organizations? Chat, you know what to do now. Hashtag Sahara Club is alt-right.
Oh my God. I just have this horrible image of memes involving Plants vs. Zombies, but, you know, build that walnut wall. Keep those dirty zombies off my lawn.
No, Igor, you're thinking that mine was just Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's just Sonic just going, keep it white, keep it right.
No.
So, Darnell, apparently Wrangleton sent you...
We know why Sonic has to go fast. He has to build that wall.
Indeed. Apparently Wrangleton sent you a copy of Crash Override in your DMs. There, Darnell.
God damn it. Okay, keep on going, Bruckus. The second article is also gold.
All right, 1 second. Where did I... Oh, okay, I see where I left off. Second, video games put the user to work on the instinctual level, making the gamer feel impulsive agreement with these ideologies. Playing Resident Evil is not equivalent to watching the movie.
because the controller-wielding gamer experienced the desire of the game as their own desires, not as the desire of another. That's
Also,
how
Bullshit.
games work. That's
No,
why
they're-
RPG games are very popular nowadays.
Yeah, but if I fully experienced the desire of many games, I wouldn't be hitting skip during fucking conversations like, please shut up, let me get to the point, let me get the thing so I can do the other goddamn thing.
I have so many level cap characters in World of Warcraft, and I've watched the same cinematics over and over again. After I've watched them the first 2 times, I just skip every fucking cinematic.
Mhm.
And if I can't skip the cinematic, I get pissed. But it's just... I fucking hate these people.
and then my favorite thing is, you want to know, because I tweeted this, you want to know another difference between me watching the Resident Evil movies and me playing a Resident Evil game? I will have probably more fun playing the Resident Evil game than I will fucking watching a Resident Evil movie.
Well, yeah, that's because
These
the Resident
are-
Evil movie sucked ass.
Yes, thank you.
Well, games are an interactive media. Movies aren't.
No, but I'm
They're-
just saying, just through sheer plot alone.
Well, actually, movies can be interactive if you get that special package from Brazzers or Pornhub.
All right, that's an interactive I can get behind.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd be behind it. if you're going the other direction, I think it's serving a different market.
Igor, you're married. You have no place in this conversation. Samaj Darnell and myself, however, we definitely need to go and get that equipment.
Oh, that's right. The stream is no longer sponsored by Tenga Eggs. Join us later. Will we potentially get our new sponsor, the Han Solo?
Oh my god! If we get that new sponsor, I would laugh my goddamn ass off. And
You need to get Brazers to sponsor the cunt stream.
I would.
Fuck yeah.
How much I would love that.
No, don't tell anyone. But we're trying to get Bad Dragon to sponsor us. So
Yeah, don't tell anyone while we're live on a fucking stream, you jackass.
don't call me on my hypocrisy. All right, don't call me on this shit. How dare you?
Don't
Okay.
point out how much of an idiot I
It
am.
would mean for like every stream though, you'd have to like hold the bad dragon up on camera and be like, "Behold the massive dragon." That's
just
talk about it for 5 or 10 minutes. And go
That-
for that. We got this newest bad dragon in the mail from our sponsor.
I just want to know, that's going to be the most extremely weird thing for me to have to justify that to both either the people in my college or my family, why I keep getting weird dildos in the mail.
Don't worry. I think they can only send like a limited amount, so we'll send it to some people. Just because we have to like sponsor them extra large, extra amount of times. I don't know if we'll do that.
Okay, so Trippy Poop is in the chat, and he said one of the best things I've heard all day. We got to remake the Super Mario movie, but with Zell and Brockus as Mario and Luigi. Yes, motherfucker! Yes, bitch! I want that.
This also reminds me of another, talking about Super Mario movie, it actually reminds me of a joke. You ever wonder if like in some weird parallel universe, the Super Mario, the roles are reversed, where it's like a bunch of Italian guys made the Super Mario made it Super Mario, but instead of Mario, they're called the Ching Chong Brothers. So it's just a bunch of Italians, with like Ching, like Ying Ying and Jing Ying.
Oh my god. That's so fucked up. Oh, that's a movie that Kadant would demand to be the princess. I want to be Princess Chiki Ching Chong. It's the only time
Princess-
she wants to be the princess, and the whole time
Princess
she's going to yell at us.
Chimichanga.
Since you brought that, I did want to say the Super Mario Brothers movie, the one from the 90s. I actually like it. It's a good movie. It's just a bad Super Mario movie. If they didn't
Truth
have
be
them,
told, yeah.
if it didn't have the Mario context to it, it wouldn't be too bad. It's actually a very fun little campy movie.
It really was. It was a nice little...
Including Do the Dinosaur.
Okay, that part can die. But... no, for the most part, the movie was actually relatively entertaining. It was stupid. It was campy. It was funny. It was a decent kids movie, and adults would probably sit there, especially my parents, They sat there and they were like, "Oh, I actually enjoy this movie," but then again, they have a bias when it comes to John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins, and Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, probably. Yoshi was a bit of a disappointment. I really wanted him to be a bigger dinosaur, but oh well.
Mhm.
I will also say, like, it's a very dark and kind of creepy movie.
It really was.
There is a long and interesting story. There's actually a documentary about the making of the Super Mario Brothers movie, because the wife or the husband and wife couple that made that movie put it through development hell. And it came out, apparently there was like enough footage from reshoots and such where you could have made like 3 other films with different plots.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was a disaster, and most of the actors that are still alive that were involved in that film would sooner punch you in the face than really talk about that film.
Really? I see. I didn't know that. I would love to see that documentary.
Wait, Igor, wouldn't you say that they would rather stomp on you than talk about that film?
I imagine that would legit get them to kick the shit out of you.
Oh man.
All right, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm okay. It's a terrible Super Mario movie, but I want to watch it again. It's so bad.
I don't know. It's still better than the anime Super Mario Brothers movie.
No.
Wait, are you talking the TV show or the actual? Like, anime?
No. There's an actual anime that came out apparently like in the 80s.
You mean
It's
the
like
one
an
with
act-
you mean the one with the cross-dressing Bowser?
I can't. No, that's from like the cartoon series, right?
No, that's from the anime.
Maybe. I just remember the really terrible anime when I was.
Oh, yeah, actually, Samaj, Nostalgia Critic did a video on it. So if you go over to Channel Awesome, you can actually see the review and how fucking terrible it was.
Mm-hmm.
I could.
Oh wait, no, that wasn't an anime. That was actually the full-length animated film.
Right. Then there was the TV series on top of that, and
The TV series has a bizarre nostalgia quality to it, just because of how cheesy it is, and all
With
the
the
little
live
skits.
action, with the live action
Yes.
scenes.
Yes. Do the Mario
Mario,
dance.
There is a nostalgia to that. I can't deny that. I think about that, and it does kind of make me feel happy. But then they did like there was one half that was Mario, then there was the other half that was Legend of Zelda, and then I think it was season 2 or maybe it was 3. They introduced Captain N.
Captain N and the Masters. What was it? What was the full title of that? Captain N and the Game Masters. That was actually a decent little cartoon when it got its own little series.
Yeah, it was a TV show, but
And he got his ass handed to him by Link too, because he was hitting on Princess Zelda when they went into that universe. And he thought he was going to kick Link's ass, and he used the pause button. And Link's like, "Master Sword, bitch!" and just kicks his ass.
Well, excuse me.
I just remember. Buddy Gort, have you seen you and the moms? Have you seen in the Mario cartoon that episode where like Toad gets waterboarded?
I'm not offhand.
It is like one of the weirdest things because you just have like Jerry's like little brother from from Tom and Jerry cartoons, and they're in Browser's castle trying to get tomato sauce, and like the mouse is just waterboarding Toad, who for some reason talks like Danny DeVito.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, cartoons back then were all kinds of interesting. I remember there was like the Ninja Turtles with like, I think, what was it, Michelangelo grabbing April's boob. Boy, I remember that.
Yeah, actually, it's a known fact that animators, for any cartoon back in the old days, all the way up until I think the late 90s, they consistently would put some sort of perverted joke in the animation somewhere.
I know that Animaniacs, they skirted that an awful lot, and that's why we love them.
Oh, it wasn't just Animaniacs. Animaniacs and Freakazoid. That entire team over at Warner Brothers, they were a bunch of grown-ass children. That's all they were. They were grown-ass children, and they pretty much were just like, what do you think would be funny? Dick and fart jokes or clever, like, intellectual jokes? Can't we do both? Yes, we can.
Cricket.
That wasn't supposed to be a fucking joke, goddammit. It was an actual
Sorry,
telling.
All right, sorry, I was all right. So continuing on with the Rage Fest.
I don't really want to continue on with this article because the more I'm actually reading it, the more I'm just like, I hate whoever wrote this.
No, my other favorite thing is at the end they actually mention how they're parroting the same thing from the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
In the 1960s and 70s, 1960s, 70s, and 80s, Hollywood cinema transformed the desires, empathies, and emotions of global population, even for those who never went to the movies. But it's harder to recognize the pattern in your own context, and we may need to consider whether we are in the midst of a comparable revolution, but with video games today. Currently, the news desires incubated by games lean far to the right, and without more progressive games on the market, though some are emerging, the future may maybe even bleaker than the political present.
I feel the strong desire to send her read-only memories. That game is Cancer 2064 read-only memories. It's, quote, a cyberpunk video game. There is literally no straight person in the entire game. You get to create your own pronouns, and if you say someone else's pronoun incorrectly or not guess it correctly, it causes a shitstorm that can get you basically to game over in the game because reasons. And if they want a progressive game, I'll send her a copy because clearly she's never played a video game.
But not just that, my other favorite thing is, okay, once again, because even the games that would actually be progressive and good, this bitch would still call them far right, like XCOM. a game where literally the whole world comes together is far right.
Together.
What pisses me off about this stuff is that these ideologues are always going to find some stupid bullshit fucking excuse to actually take something that is massively enjoyed by many people across the world, across the country, whatever it is, and deem it as evil, as wrong, as bad, solely because it doesn't adhere to their bullshit fucking beliefs that they picked up 2 goddamn years ago.
Well, the other thing there, Brockus, is these people don't play video games. They look at other people playing video games and then move on to do something else. They don't actually play video games, so they often just kind of look at maybe like a teaser trailer and go, oh, that's clearly right wing. They got guns, and guns are bad. That's what my mommy told me when I was 2.
Yeah, that'll be the next thing that sort of flares up there. I did want to say, though, because you were definitely hitting the nose, or hitting the tip of the nose there with that. They don't play these games. And they don't read comics, and they don't want any of this stuff. The reason why a lot of these people are getting into this is so that they can try, because they know that their culture is going in that direction, and they're trying to control it. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to control the narrative, trying to control what we do. I'm going to put my conspiracy hat on here, but they're trying to like rule the world, if you will, or at least culture. Yeah. And they're going to comics. Because you remember what they do is this severe criticism is to try and shame them into letting them control it. They shame the comic industry because we all remember that famous was it Minota picture of Spider-Woman climbing the building, and they were saying how she's like presenting to the city or something. And then there was the Batgirl cover saying that it's like the Joker's going to rape her, and it was just criticism after criticism, like, oh, Like the bikini armor is unrealistic and all that stuff. They criticized, and then people in the industry got all these bad comments and criticisms, and then they bent the knee and said, okay, yeah, we'll do whatever you want. Please stop the criticism. And that's how that happened. Why is there a cat on the screen, Darnell?
Because this cat is crying over the conversation we are having, and the truth is just realized.
I was just going to say maybe it's because Darnell wants to admit he's just a raging pussy.
Yeah.
The cat symbolizes how I feel.
Well, I mean, like, luckily, people are sort of waking up to this, because here's the thing. A lot of these places are businesses. And when you get negative comments, they have to respond to this because it could affect sales, and you can get like bad publicity in every which direction, be it in like the news media and all, which they did do. I mean, video games, thanks to like Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn and all that, publicity on video games has been very negative for quite some time. And comic books was pretty much the same thing. And they're trying to do it because that's where the culture is going.
And now movies are going very similar with how very praised movies like The Shape of Water got. And then
that's nothing new, Darnell. That's nothing new. That has always been an issue in Hollywood. The Oscars have always been more about giving out awards to films that the average person in the public's never going to watch. That's always what it's been about. It's more about self-flagellation than it is than about the actual films that the general public want to see.
Well, and true enough, and and I'm so surprised this is still a tightly kept secret, but we still don't know who actually votes in these award ceremonies. These, I think it was the Oscars or whatever. Mm-hmm. We don't know who these people are. Not a clue. We're assuming that they're industry insiders, but they could just as easily be press. They could just as easily be someone else. Like I don't know how one becomes a person that actually gets to vote on these things.
I could tell you that there's a group of people that basically own and run the CEOs, I guess you could say, of the Oscars, and they elect people to be part of the groups that actually vote on the movies to win. And I believe there's between 100 and 150 people at any given time that have the ability to vote. And they're all sent out videos. They're supposed to watch it, and then they vote on, what they thought of the film.
Yeah, actually, I was going to say that we do know who these people are, and it's actually been a trade secret for quite a while now, because it was a secret for a long time. But I think some whistleblowers in the 80s or 90s had actually. Hold on a second.
I was going to say, was that me?
No, apparently someone's got their radio on near them or something like that.
Mm-hmm. So, I did also want to say, I think it was on one of Kevin Smith's podcasts. One of his hosts was actually saying that part of the reason why we see like movies, like brand new movies, like getting ripped on torrent sites all the time, is actually because they're sending out DVDs to people who get to watch the movies and vote on the Oscars. They're actually ripping them and putting them online.
Oh yeah, that happens. That happens frequently.
That was what I was actually getting at. Is it's been a trade secret for a while now, since I think it was decades ago that some whistleblower had actually pointed out who the Academy really is, and the majority of the Academy actually is, in fact, a panel of people that know other people in Hollywood and stuff. It's sort of like it's a really bad example, but like Harvey Weinstein's cousin's sister. Mm-hmm. She would be a member of that particular panel. Or some guy who was the janitor at Universal Studios at one point, but now works for like some really big tech company. Something along those lines. They claim that these are actually like unknown people that are voting on this stuff, but no, these are actually people that have worked in the industry. These are people that are known inside the industry. Like, these are relatives, these are friends of friends, stuff like that.
Oh, and
then you get maybe 25 to 50 previous winners on all the numbers, which are actually somewhere in the hundreds, 200s and stuff like that, who are actually voting on who wins and stuff. And then there are a handful of previous winners of Oscars and awards that actually get to make a vote. But these are only the people who have prestigious names like Meryl Streep, for example. Meryl would definitely be somebody that would actually get to be a part of the Academy a lot. And
another issue with the Oscars is bribing is actually fairly rampant. This has come out, in the last few years.
Globes.
Yeah, and what they'll do is they will spend lots of money to buy gifts and toys and things for people who have been, quote, unknowingly outed as being a judge. So they'll get all these gifts and stuff. Well, of course, you're going to feel kind of, you're going to show a little more preferential treatment for the particular movie if you just received a brand new Corvette or what is $100,000 diamond encrusted watch was one of the things that was given out one year. I mean, it's just crazy amounts of money these companies will spend to get their movie to win.
Mm-hmm.
Makes me wonder how much Warner Bros. Had to spend just to get Suicide Squad that award for best hair.
That was such bullshit. I'm still pissed about. How the fuck does a movie that is just universally hated with one guy, one makeup fucking fully from head to toe character who's let's be honest, wasn't even 100% fully from head to toe. They had one scene with him without a fucking shirt on, and that was about as far as it went. Otherwise, it was just a fucking mask and gloves.
Well,
but like
they won out over freaking Star Trek and the amount of makeup.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Star Trek had amazing. I didn't even realize that was Idris fucking Elba when you first see him. If you put that movie on mute, you would have not known that was Idris Elba.
Yep. Crazy level of skill for the makeup department on that film. It was disappointing when I didn't necessarily hate Suicide Squad. I wasn't like wowed by it either. But yeah, I didn't get that. Like when they said, "Oh, they won over Star Trek," I'm like, "Wait, what? Are you kidding me?" There's like a million times more skill present in Star Trek for the makeup.
It was garbage.
Yeah, that surprised me. Although, I mean, it's not like we have to really concern ourselves with this very much because it turns out in the history of the award ceremony, it had the record lowest views ever.
Yep,
and that should tell you something. Now, granted, the Oscars have been very slow to change up and go like live streaming and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but people did live stream it. How many? We don't know. They just focused on the TV numbers for as long as possible, and as far as we can tell, like it's bad.
I honestly wonder if more people are watching the live stream reaction that Louder with Crowder did to the Oscars when they was airing versus actually were on the channel watching the Oscars.
You know what? That's a very good point. I wonder. Did Crowder get more views?
Yeah,
I think he probably did.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to look this information up right now.
Because Lord knows no one else was streaming it. So I mean, and
God, he was suffering too. They got like 10 minutes into the Oscars and they were almost hammered already because they're like, all right, we're gonna follow these drinking rules. 10 minutes in, all right, we're not following these drinking rules anymore.
Jimmy Kimmel, get off the stage.
Yeah. It was a sad state of affairs, to tell you what.
Yeah.
Igor, do you think we should have given him this?
By the end of it, yes. Oh my God.
Sad kitty.
Sad kitty. Yeah, sad kitty is right. I would feel sorry for the Oscars, but I mean, come on, guys.
Why?
It's current year. I mean, get with the times.
I never have cared about the Oscars beyond maybe just the morbid curiosity level of just hearing who won what the next day. I don't think I've ever watched the Oscars live except for like the Louder with Crowder. Watching the Louder with Crowder reaction to the Oscars, I think is as close as I've ever gotten to actually watching the Oscars live. Fucking
Christ. Steven Strange in the chat just, put out a challenge says the Dark Knight sucked.
I have. Oh, no. There we go. Okay.
Holy fuck! Who is this?
Apparently, he was. Apparently, he is a human. He is a human version of the boulder from Indiana Jones.
No. So apparently, this is a Australian city council member who was arrested in a brothel and admits to robbery and corruption. But my favorite thing is the guy that I follow, Gabriel Morton, did the saying of the kingpin has finally been brought to justice.
No, bullshit. That isn't Wilson Fisk. That's Wilson Fisk's cousin, Willie Fisk.
Oh God, he looks like he could, if he fell down those stairs, a small group of children would be in danger.
If that dude farts, he kills everything within a 5-mile radius.
Guys! Important news: Stephen Hawking just announced dead.
What?
Wait, what?
Yes, I'm not kidding.
Let me. Oh shit! I'm googling this. Stephen Hawkins dead?
Yes.
Oh, don't say it ain't so. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but goddamn.
Oh, god damn it. Vernaculus just retweeted it. BBC breaking news. Physicist Stephen Hawking has died at the age of 76.
Wow.
76?
That is, but he lived far longer than anyone has with his condition, though, as far as I know.
That's true. They probably took in. Yeah, he was. Because I try to take as good care of him as the best they can. But goddamn.
Yeah. What was it when he started showing signs? They basically gave him like 10 years to live, and that was it at the time. So
yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, and that was when he was in his 20s or something like that. So yeah, that's a sad day for science, but you know.
Rosa the Angry Unicorn brings up an excellent point. Bering will keep him alive because apparently Stephen Hawking keeps popping into Bering videos and shitting on him.
God damn it.
Turtle Island Turtle brings up a good point as well. At this point, he was mostly more machine than man.
He's more machine.
We can rebuild him. We have the technology.
I don't know if I should take this as some sort of bizarre omen, but one of the things I do is I go on to some websites and I'll buy like toys and stuff, like accessories for action figures. And I use them as references in my photos. Today I just got my wheelchair.
Huh.
You are responsible for this man's death, Samaj. How dare you use your voodoo powers to kill a great man?
I take zero responsibility in this. All right, you can't prove nothing.
Okay, I have two other things that we can do for jokes. One is really weird and fucked up. The other is kind of just I did it just for the meme material we could do about it. One is a guy that apparently made Godzilla out of dead cockroaches.
Fuck you. You showed me that. Fuck you. That's gross.
The other is apparently Trump is calling for. Hold on. Trump is calling for a new branch of the military that is focused on space, and he is calling it the Space Force.
I want Space Marines. God damn it!
That's what I literally said.
How can you fuck that up, Trump? Space goddamn Marines.
Trump is trying to create the Space Marines. Hence, he is the emperor.
Yes.
That's literally what I said. Just call it XCOM or Starfleet for fuck's sake.
For any 40K fans, you know exactly what we're talking about. For anyone who's lost to time with this joke, fuck you. Get on my level, bitch.
You literally had so many names. You could like nicknamed it.
If he had called them the Space Marines, oh god, the memes would be the God Emperor memes would be in full force all over again.
Oh wait, actually, I just realized something. We could take this 3 different directions. 1, 40K. 2, aliens. 3, Halo. Which one do we want to go down?
40K, I think it's the most appropriate.
40K.
Yeah, it's actually.
Then we have to deal with the chaos.
Oh god, no! I just remembered.
You stole his chair. God damn it, Samaj! How could you steal that poor man's chair?
Where's his computer, you fuck?
You took it to the pawn shop, didn't you? Oh, there it is.
Stocky the real just did the ultimate thing. Stephen Hawking is the real emperor. He already has the technology.
Okay, see, you did that, and now I demand a Samaj Hawking fucking thumbnail. I'm just saying.
This thumbnail has to now be Samaj Hawkins looking at the computer screen.
With Schmeckel just like judging him so hard in the background.
Oh God.
Yep.
This is your newest Godzilla film in the works, right here.
I'm just saying. Maybe I should be careful about what I order in the mail.
He doesn't breathe fire; he breathes maggots.
No. He breathes just trash, just pure trash.
Gross.
And my favorite thing is because it's literally a response to this, which is literally a guy bungee jumping while playing the bagpipes.
Yes, it's brilliant. We have a $2 super chat. A space force to fend off the feminids. Purple haired Tyranids are en route.
Joseph Kerwin, that was a $2 super chat that has given so much joy to all four of us. I applaud you, sir.
Oh God! In case of emergency, get head. Oh wait, no.
Okay. Well, Kadant just sent me something interesting. It's a Nerdist article.
Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. Samaj, moan for us, nigga.
I already moaned. All right.
Oh yeah, I'll do it too. Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. My ding-ding-dong. Okay, but the article that Kadant actually sent me, thank you for this, Kadant. Will Buffy the Vampire Slayer be the next TV show to come back from the dead?
No.
Please no.
Well, you got to think about this. Joss Whedon was fired or quit the Batgirl movie, so he's probably not doing much right now. He could convince a bunch of people to resurrect their old shit, and
but here's the thing: it will end the same way the last time it ended, even if it's not the exact same ending you were expecting, because Joss Whedon ends everything he does with an apocalyptic scenario.
Oh, that's
every goddamn thing he does. Look at every series he has ever produced. Look at every film franchise he has curated. You will see at the very end of the films or the end of the series, there is some apocalyptic occurrence to destroy the universe.
Nope, that's false. That is 100% false. Serenity. That was the end.
The movie had an apocalypse with space zombies, you fuck.
It didn't actually end with an apocalypse with space zombies.
It said apocalyptic occurrence. Even when he helped out on the Avengers, you had Space Hole with space mutants coming out of the sky to destroy the world.
No, Igor, that's not the ending. The ending was apocalyptic man robot with asteroid. That's the real apocalypse.
Yep.
Blood sports.
But he
sports.
could easily actually take a cue from Supernatural. Do you know how many fucking times they've done an apocalyptic event at the end of one of their damn seasons and still came back for another season?
Yeah, but they could do it well.
They literally did the fucking apocalypse 3 different times. I don't know if that's the actual number.
I know they did it quite a few times, but for fuck's sake, at least they could write themselves out of the hole they had written themselves into. Why is Colonel Sanders about to beat someone with his meat?
Why Wendy? Have you seen that Green Lantern crossover? He's done it before. I did also want to say, before we get off the topic of Josh Whedon, he has been cited at a couple different Marvel events, like at the Black Panther screening and all that. Last time I checked, I don't think he had anything to do with that movie. But he has been going over, so I think he's trying to court his way back to Marvel.
Oh,
Well, that won't be very difficult to do. I mean, look at the actual success he's had with Marvel. I'm sure Marvel will gladly welcome him back after a bit of humiliation.
It's
Probably.
I don't know. I guess it depends. We don't know what the background, what the behind the scenes stuff was with him in the studio. Yeah, if it was amicable and good, yeah, they'll welcome him back and go, "Hey, we got a movie we'd love for you to work on." If there was more going on in the background than we ever heard about, then they may go, we'll consider it. Give us a few movies to think about it.
I think actually Disney will gladly take Josh Whedon back and give him a particular film franchise that he might find both in his wheelhouse and in that fandom. And I think that they're going to give him Star Wars.
Nah, they'll give him Squirrel Girl, the movie.
No. See, the reason why I say Star Wars, because look at Star Wars. That is fucked up. It is not going well for them. And they
but that's why they need to bring J.J. Abrams back. Okay.
They have such a hole to dig themselves out of for Star Wars, for fuck's sake. They killed off major characters. They got rid of the connections that was being built up. Mm-hmm. JJ has such a massive hole to fill in. He's going to be flying the planet Death Stars through it to try and patch those plot holes.
I think, all right, Episode 7, it was an okay movie. It wasn't the greatest. Episode 8, we all know was a dumpster fire. But I've been watching Midnight's Edge and some of the things, that came out in like the reports and whatnot, is that they literally gave, what was the director's name again? The guy who did Episode 8? I forget his name. But they gave him full control over it. And that's why it was such a terrible, terrible dumpster fire. Even though J.J. Abrams had already set up like a plot points and all that for the next two movies.
Yep.
And it was sort of gone. And I can probably say Kathleen Kennedy, the one who's in charge of Lucasfilm, and
she has got to be sweating bullets and shitting bricks right now whenever she gets a phone call with Disney next to the number.
Yeah, she'll probably step down from her role.
Yeah, super chat.
I guess I'll read it. $5. I'm guessing that's NZ is New Zealand. $5. Sup cunts. Anyone know about the Deadpool 2 controversy? I've heard a little about this. Something about they're doing a lot of reshoots.
It was the early screenings that apparently did poorly, so they're doing reshoots.
My ding ding dong.
Yeah, the reshoots. Here's the thing about reshoots. They happen all the time, and that's not a big problem. But the problem is that the movie comes out in a couple months. It's going to be
towards the wire.
It's really close to the wire, and part of the problem with that is that to do CGI, it takes a certain amount of time of processing and everything.
You are talking to the right person if you want to know all about the headaches of CGI. I have worked on a film. I have worked on a TV show that never got past the pilot, and I've done 12 years of architectural renderings. It is a massive headache to get when you have your boss walk in and go, hey, all that shit you've done, it needs to be completely scrapped and redone by Friday. But this just took me 3 weeks to render. And then I give you The Lord of the Rings, the last film, and why all the CGI looked like ass.
Yeah. Are you talking? Huh?
No, that's the thing. Go on.
Yeah, I remember hearing, was it Clash of the Titans? The massive CGI scene they had in there. They apparently took like an entire Christmas weekend, or not weekend, Christmas holiday.
Yep.
I think they were away for like 4 days, and when they came back to work, it was like almost done processing. I mean that's how long it takes to do all that. That's only after all the many hours of animation and
what am
sorting.
I looking at here?
Apparently, someone's eating an iguana.
That's Jeff Bezos. That's the owner of Amazon.
If he wants to eat a fucking iguana, let the man. He has more money than God.
Well, I mean, that's literally the quote right here.
He has more money than God. Yeah, okay. I can get behind that.
The rich are different from you and me.
Hey, yeah. At least it isn't a human's head on top of a silver platter. You're going, who's next? Why do you think we have so many Amazon workers? If you fall behind on scheduling, we feed you to Bezos.
I would never touch an iguana because I'm fucking terrified of the things. But what the fuck would you think they even taste like?
Probably like chicken, a game
Oh,
chicken.
okay. One of the latest controversies for the Deadpool 2 movie is actually T.J. Miller. I don't know if anybody remembers this.
Yes,
but
yeah.
He was accused of sexually assaulting somebody.
With
and
a
of course
fucking bottle. That is
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
and his wife is, of course, standing beside him on this argument. They both are pretty much in the same mindset. That shit didn't happen. You're fucking lying. And despite how many people have been calling for other people to lose their jobs, it looks like TJ Miller is one of those people that is not going to lose his job due to the fact that the accusations are still just accusations. No evidence has been presented. No court cases have actually been filed. Nothing has actually come of this. It is literally just he said, she said, and everyone is. I'm fucking sick of this. This is Me Too was one of the biggest annoyances of 2017 leaking into 2018, and I fucking despise it. I despise it so much because there are always going to be those people that legitimately went through some horrible, horrendous, tragic fucking event, like being sexually assaulted, like being beaten up or abused or something along those lines. And there's always going to be those glory whores that fucking jump in and try to claim, oh yeah, I was totally sexually assaulted as well. What happened? Well, I was sexually assaulted.
Chaos brings up a point. TJ Miller is an SJW. Do you think he's still going to be an SJW after going through all of this nightmare?
Well,
do you think he's at some point of self-reflection going, maybe callous, wanton accusations with no backup evidence is maybe damaging? And, that word that we all have come to cringe when we hear.
Oh, well, that's actually an interesting point because I don't know if anybody's paid attention to this. Joss Whedon himself was an SJW. What do you think has happened with him and his views on the SJWs and feminism in the last several months since his accusation?
Has he doubled down?
Huh?
Did he double down? I haven't paid attention to him.
He has not doubled down. He actually is now just basically trying to say, well, first of all, those accusations are baseless and they never happened. And secondly, he's trying his damnedest to ignore them. But you know what he is actually trying to do? Give the people what they want. Damn good stories and movies and shit like that. I mean, let's face it, Justice League was a fucking shit show to begin with. And Joss Whedon did make it worse. But in all honesty, I'm pretty sure that was the tipping point for Joss Whedon, and he is now officially on our side of the argument, where he's pretty much sitting there saying, no, fuck y'all, that was bullshit. You went ahead and turned around and tried to accuse me of some shit you know I didn't even do. And it's fucking ridiculous. Every single time a new Me Too accusation is being thrown in the direction of somebody who was an ally, I swear to God, those people are no longer allies. Look at fucking Harvey Weinstein. Guarantee you, jail time, no jail time, it doesn't fucking matter. Harvey Weinstein is going to look at feminism and SJWs like the most vile, disgusting fucking organization that has ever happened. And in a few years, he is going to come out as a fucking alt-righter or some shit because they ruined his career.
Yep. I mean... And the thing is or he's going to come out with a tell-all book and reveal how he'll probably gloss over the ones where it's questionable, but the majority of the women that accused him slept with him because they willingly wanted to get a role, and they knew if they fucked him, he might be willing to acquiesce to them getting a certain career move.
Yeah, well, and strangely enough, that's exactly what happened. These women sucked his dick or fucked him, and guess what happened? They got massive Hollywood fame that is still talked about to this day. And the ones that refused, they made it on their own. But in all honesty, that was one of those situations where it's like, hey, if you don't suck my dick, you're never going to work in this town again. I'll find my own ways. I'll go find a different dick to suck, you piece of fucking fat shit. All right, just don't one, and I'll make you a star anyways. I don't care.
Well, or they're in the cases when like they suck the dick and everything was a sort of okay, as if it was a common thing, and then the girl will say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm 16. I want to be in the next Frozen movie or something, or next Disney thing." I guarantee you, almost all those. That's the thing that's been going on with the Disney television division. They believe in the movies.
Yeah, but that's Roman Polanski, and Natalie Portman has to answer a lot of questions on that one.
My favorite. Sorry, but my favorite is the fact that people were getting angry that Roman Polanski is gonna have a role in the Charles Manson movie. People were actually getting angry about that.
A question from Chaos in the chat here. So within 5 years, social justice warriorisms within Hollywood should be dead? Question mark. No. I don't think so. It's nothing new for Hollywood. The SJW mindset has just kind of flooded outwards from that very small echo chamber that is Hollywood. They don't live outside their bubble typically. Like, it was weird when my parents met a couple of the actors from Twilight, because they were actually filming a movie about like an indie film about the military. It's a couple of veterans from the military. It was like a life story kind of thing. And a couple of, some of the crew and some of the actors are, right leaning, and they're like, oh, we can't talk about this stuff when we were back in Hollywood. Are you kidding? Our careers would be dead in the water. They have to live and act within that echo chamber, because the people at the top are the ones that push a lot of the narratives that that everyone else has to march, lockstep to.
Igor, you need to put a leash on your wife. She's in the chat spreading a bunch of lies.
Oh, what is she saying?
She's talking shit about how me and Zell fucking started working together.
Ruckus, I know what will make you feel better. Look at my picture.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh! Oh! The bishop grew up. No, dude. Honestly, I really would love to see Bishop done better than when he was in
Days of Future Past.
Yeah, that was a decent Bishop, but in all honesty, that was a little disappointing.
Yeah,
I wanted a little more Bishop. He's a lot cooler. He's a badass X-Men. I love his power too. It's
Can we dig up Gary Coleman's body and just have him portrayed as like a baby Bishop? It's just in these clothes. Come on. So like in the next X-Men movie, it's like, hey, here's baby Bishop. Why is he a rotting corpse?
No, we don't need zombie midgets. We don't need zombie midgets running around anywhere. I need you to fuck off with that idea.
They'll only bite at your ankles.
Trippy Poop says, have you heard that Freakazoid? Wow, it might be getting a remake with the original voice cast. Now that would be interesting.
I actually I heard about that shortly after Nostalgia Critic had done his special episode where he did it. Basically, he talked about Freakazoid, and they actually let it slip, not accidentally, on purpose. They let it slip that they were working on the possibilities of a new Freakazoid series.
I'm okay with that, because I know there was also talk about doing an Animaniacs thing. I think that's
moving along. That's going to be on Hulu.
Is it on? Okay, I thought it was Netflix, but
or maybe
anyway,
Netflix. I could be wrong.
It better be on Netflix, because we don't get Hulu in Canada.
Oh, I want those plushies.
But yeah, like a Freakazoid also made like frequent appearances in Animaniacs, and I think you guys really need to do that.
I'm proud to introduce you to my children. Oh, okay.
What?
Look at the picture Darnell has.
Oh, the cat and the that's a millennial thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, aside from having puppies and kittens as their children, which by the way needs to fucking
chat.
stop.
You do hear a Ren. We live together.
Really, I never would have actually figured that one out. I wonder.
The chat's like stating the obvious.
I think Ren needs to get a test done to see who the father of the child is. Let's go ahead and make that one kind of obvious too.
Chad, are you assuming that Igor is happily married? God damn, you're not a true nerd, are you?
Yeah.
You're not like me and Bruckus, single.
Or like me.
Yeah.
God damn it.
See, when I met Ren, I had a job already, and I was working in my career in architectural visualization while I was in college. Money, career, I had the things she was looking for in a partner.
That's true. That's true.
That
Dick. Yeah, money is an important factor.
around.
Yeah.
Darnell, stop showing us shit on your fucking screen. What are you doing?
This is what he does when he's bored. He starts randomly going through Twitter and going, guys, check your Twitter. Guys, check your Twitter. Guys, check your Twitter. Guys, check your Twitter yet.
Igor, it's literally a how-to fight wild animals MMA style, and it's a kangaroo.
Yes, I can see it.
I want Darnell to make a trip out to Australia and fight a fucking kangaroo now.
I just want the video of him getting his ass handed to him by a kangaroo.
I'm 5 feet
Darnell,
tall.
bring
Kangaroos
Dimitri
are
with you. No, Darnell, I need you to go and fight a kangaroo, and I need Dimitri to record it and give commentary on that motherfucker, because you know he's gonna have some fucked up shit to say about that fight.
No, you'll just hear about 10 minutes of Darnell screaming, "My dick! Why does he keep kicking my dick? God damn it! Stop kicking my dick!"
Why does he keep kicking me in the dick?
Got done the spring break. Dimitri left. I'm all alone here.
He's lonely. Imagine that. Imagine my shock.
I'm so
comic books don't. Your comic books don't keep you entertained.
Fuck you.
Just get a Tenga egg.
Yeah, it's
or a pocket pussy from Bad Dragon. Now those are both interesting and colorful.
and you can engage in your fantasies.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not get on that right away. Okay, the ink isn't dry yet, folks.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But you know that sponsorship from Bad Dragon, Ren, Anon, Kadunt, and Opal are probably going to want to come up with various different designs for dildos and pocket pussies and cock sleeves and shit like that. And they're just gonna send Bad Dragon a bunch of emails.
I really hope that I don't have to deal with this, because I am a 3D modeler. Ren is just going to be over my shoulder going, no, it needs massive balls, and the dick needs to be ribbed and have like tentacle suckers on it. Like, no, I'm not modeling that.
Ben, you know what you have to do. You have just been given the keys to the kingdom.
I don't. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can all do a big collab and make a cunt stream dick of some sort. Like in a collaboration with Bad Dragon, we have us a unique to the stream.
Oh my god! Well, how did we get from nerd culture stuff to eventually going into the Bad Dragon? You know what? Never mind.
It just goes full circle.
Are you kidding me? Those things go together like peanut butter and jelly. It just sort of sexual deviancy is bound to come out of loneliness.
Actually, Ren just presented a very interesting idea. Darnell, she's suggesting that you actually go to Japan because there are a lot of lonely Asian women there, and you'll be bigger than most of the men.
If I had the money, I've already be skipping to Japan on a fucking rowboat.
I have a lot of questions for that analogy, but we're going to go ahead and skip
I forgot how, because for some reason I
forgot English.
Yeah.
You don't have English.
I don't necessarily want to know what you has idea for.
Chaos, your name says everything of how we got to where we are. Anyways, actually, there is a way around moving to another country. The only thing is that you would only be able to live there for roughly 3 months on a visa before they would inevitably kick you out. So you're gonna have to make it fast, Darnell. But what you can do is apply for, obviously, a passport, apply for a visa, all that shit, and go and live over in Japan for about 3 months or so. And how you do this is simply just save up a little bit of money, and then to cheaply go over there, just find whatever cheap ass plane ticket and leeway you could get over there. Like, did you ever watch Eurotrip?
No.
They got a very cheap plane ticket to London, England. I think it was like $50 each, so they could be a courier. And some airlines do actually do shit like that. That was actually a reference towards an actual thing that does legitimately happen. All you do is you sign a waiver that actually, well, not a waiver, but you sign a form that says you will, in fact, deliver the package. Because in the movie, they comically just toss the package away. They don't give two shits about it and everything like that. But you have to deliver the package. If the package is not delivered, then you actually owe a shitload of money. But that's how you can get over to Japan. You pretend to be like, you basically get a cheap ticket to be a courier. You deliver your package to wherever the fuck you need to go. And there you are. You're in Japan. Now, how you survive there is up to you. But I suggest you challenge the local shonen and or shogun. And you
Challenge your local shonen jump. Time to duel.
Oh shit! Oh man, don't get me started on that. There's no way I win a duel against them. My warrior deck is not up to snuff to the Japanese, man. I cannot fucking deal with that.
Just
play
Seven Samurai. Just use the Seven Samurai deck, man.
No, fuck that. No, I have more pride than that. I'll take my good old fashioned European style deck. Marauding Captain for the win.
Oh my god. You would. Oh,
Surprises me you actually know what I'm talking about. Now I'm even more scared. Like, fuck.
No,
There's no hope
like
for us.
I actually know Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not a card game I'm particularly fond of anymore. I obsessed over it for so long, and honestly, it's not my cup of tea anymore. But
Synchros
What,
ruined
dear?
the fucking game.
What?
they really did. They ruined the fucking game. I hated the show when it turned into let's have a card game on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles? What? What could go wrong with that?
5
First
Ds.
of all, you lost the plot when in the first season you decided how do we make this card game interesting? Oh, I know. Let's make an anime where people try to take over the fucking world with cards.
Hey, it's not as bad as the cartoon my son loves, which is the one about spinning tops.
Beyblade.
Beyblades,
Oh,
where
Christ.
there is an organization trying to take over the world using spinning tops as weapons.
No.
Oh. Only in Japan can they actually make an American-loved cartoon where the premise is we're going to take over the world with children's toys. What?
Look,
And here's the best part. Those shows do terrible over in Japan.
But they do amazing here.
It's fucking weird, isn't it?
Well, they're mostly designed to sell toys, and that's the idea. But it does do, like, for some of the kids, it does pretty well. I mean, not every show can be Yu-Gi-Oh! All right? For some reason, that anime did really well, and it sold a lot of cards, and it's still selling cards today. I mean, the rumor has it that they are making a Netflix series. Rumor has it, because the last movie they made did so well. And then the creator actually is a little bit more interested again.
Igor.
That one time Moses used his Beyblade to part the Red Sea.
I think that's just so fucking stupid.
Wait, that's an actual screenshot from the
Yes,
show, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Yes, it is. Look.
I hate the internet sometimes. But no, what was that goddamn saying? That fucking joke just derailed.
Let her rip in the name of God.
No. It's let my people.
I kick ass in the name of the Lord.
That's so fucking. Are you kidding? This show is the best show on television. It's so fucking epic.
It's so fucking
I used children's
Oh,
toy to part the sea.
Did God carve the Ten Commandments using a bay?
I think the reason why Netflix is doing a Yu-Gi-Oh animated show or movie, whatever the fuck they're doing, is because Yu-Gi-Oh needs something. They need more sales. They need to come back to being the number one, because for the longest time, Yu-Gi-Oh was the number one card game across the world. And then it beat out Pokemon, it beat out Magic the Gathering, it beat out a bunch of different card games. But then this new card game came along a few years back called Vanguard. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this.
Maybe I have some questions, but go on.
Well, it's a card game that has essentially stomped the competition into the ground in Japan for the last 4 years, I think. It was one of the highest rising card games that Japan has ever come out with, and it is holding the number one spot, or at least the teetering in the top 3. And it's been doing that for so fucking long that like Yu-Gi-Oh needs something to come back with. So an animated movie or TV show with better cards would probably do that.
Apparently, AW in chat is comparing my voice to Patton Oswalt. That is a first. I have never been compared to Patton Oswalt.
You do kind of have this almost Patton Oswalt sort of vibe to your voice, but if Patton Oswalt's balls had actually dropped.
Yeah, Fire in
Okay,
the
now I can hear it.
okay. Fire in the chat is saying that Super Chat is broken.
What do you mean
Yep.
Super Chat is broken?
He just says that in the chat. I don't know what that means.
Super chat, so I'm assuming.
Oh,
it's
Super
him.
Chat won't allow you to say certain words. So if you're trying to say those words, it will not allow you to actually Super Chat. You're going to have to either space it out or use a separate like emojis and other letters to convey what you're trying to say. Because I tried calling people a faggot on the Kumite not too long ago, and Failure informed me that, yeah, they won't allow you to say faggot in a Super Chat anymore.
Oh, Fire's saying that it won't send.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It will not send. You won't be charged for the Super Chat because obviously you're not able to send the Super Chat.
Mm-hmm.
But because if you're using a specific word, then, yeah, it won't let you.
The hilarity is that means pretty soon they won't be able to use the stream's name when super chatting at the stream.
No, but that's the confusion, isn't it? Because you're paying money to say words, and they won't let you say those words now.
Yeah. Now it would make sense if you under your settings for what are banned words for chat. If that then would translate into the super chats, like if you're not allowed to say asshole in our chat, then you would block it from being able to do super chat. But you would think the more like if you had like a very limited moderation of what's being said in chat, the system would just put the little stars instead of the word, to blank it out, something like that.
Yeah, that's actually how I get away with it now. But the thing is it's universal across all of the super chats because of the fact that how often do we hear stories of SJWs complaining that they're getting all kinds of hate mail and people are sending them horrible comments on YouTube and stuff like that. So what if, say Riley J. Dennis were to actually do a live stream again? Well, pretty sure there would be a bunch of people who do not like Riley J. Dennis, not saying anyone's fan in particular, but people who don't like Riley J. Dennis would go over and basically call Riley a man and say, you still have a dick, bro.
I see that Fire managed to get it to work.
Hey, you figured out technology. Congratulations, Futter.
It's Futternut. $2. Go bloop yourself. Go fuck yourself.
All right, what do you guys think of this?
Tomas, do your job.
Oh, sorry, I had to do that. Also, Futter there. You and I gotta get chatting at some point because I'm going to be in the midst of moving, and of certain places that may be available for me. So, hello.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, still here.
We're here.
Yeah, cool.
We're here for you, man.
Hold
I won't help you move. I do live 1,000 miles away, so I can't lend you a hand even for pizza and beer to help you move. But I'll give you lots of moral support. How's that?
I'll give you an emotional connection. How about that?
No, this is so great because this beautiful Watch this woman use a raw steak to bang out the word equality in Morse code on the hood of her car. Basically, this woman is beating her meat to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you just love Clickhole?
Yes.
I both love and hate Clickhole.
Yes.
Clickhole is a son of a bitch, and yet I still get a laugh at the stupidity.
Yes. So is this along the lines of we don't beat our meat because it's difficult, we beat it because it is hard?
I don't know, but that's patriarchy, regardless. she's fucking up her own goddamn car for a goddamn idea equality. Bitch, we already have it in the West. Will you shut the fuck up already?
Well, let's be honest. This is the closest this woman ever gets to slapping some meat around.
Oh my god, Trippy Poop just told a great thing. Trippy Poop says that he heard that Tonka is banned from Super Chat.
Wait, what?
Tonka's first goddamn pseudonym is banned.
Grapple Vision?
No. Tonka Saw.
Tonka Saw.
The first name is Tonka. Tonka's name, Tonka, is banned in Super Chat.
How? I mean, it's not even a...
It's a kid's toy. That's what it's associated with.
Yeah. I don't
think
get...
Worski's next?
Probably. Oh, God.
Okay. Bruni Strong Bear in the chat. What's the difference between a Catholic wife and a Jewish wife? The Catholic wife has real orgasms and fake jewelry.
Trippy Poo has offered me to move out down to Michigan, and we'll pick up chicks together around the local Walmart. That's some tempting offer there, right?
I would say reference people of Walmart.com for to reassess that situation.
Actually, I know a guy that lives in Michigan, and he's actually a YouTuber as well. I'm not sure if you're familiar with King's Night.
Nope.
King's Night does.
I love when people go, "Do you know this guy on YouTube? Millions of channels, millions and billions of users."
Oh well, King's Night is somewhat. He circulates around the same kind of people that we all chat with. So I figured that maybe people might recognize his name. I know Kadunt's familiar because she and I have both been on one of his streams. But he's a relatively new YouTuber as well. He does late night streams or early morning streams, however you want to look at it. And he was talking to me and Kadunt about the company he actually works for. And they have several offices in Michigan. And they are, what is it? God damn it. I forget what the fucking goddamn company's name is and shit. Maybe Kadunt will say it in the fucking...
all right, $2 just disproven. Tonka, that is all.
There you go. Oh, you touch my tra-la-la. I've decided that this stream I'm gonna do that.
I wish we had that little sound clip available so every time someone donated, it'll just pop up.
Oh,
okay, but we need to get this done.
Who's coughing? Who's dying?
Darnell was saying something, and Igor is coughing.
Oh, okay.
Good now. So, all right, get on with it there.
I was gonna say we need this for Samaj.
FIFO worker who took a front end loader for a drunken joyride through a Washington or Wyoming. I'm not sure which state that is. Washington mining town has been labeled an idiot by a magistrate.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
A drunken guy, a drunk, decides to take a joyride with a fucking front loader and gets literally labeled an idiot. That's fucking great. The guy's my hero. Wait, was that Sophane?
Oh God! Did you see the Han Solo that Rhett just posted?
No.
It is literally the It's literally a pocket pussy, but the exterior is Han Solo frozen in carbonite.
Mhm.
Okay, I have seen that before. Also,
AW,
Leander.
$2. Tonkasaw testing.
Oh,
Like ding
My-
ding dong.
I think my moans are
That
getting
has to be
worse.
set up with OBS. I swear to God, that's
Yeah,
gotta be set up.
your
with
moans
OBS.
sound more and more like that person that's just given up on getting to orgasm, but is just trying to get the sex over with.
Sounds like my life.
Like you're just so done with sex in general. You're like, please let it end. Let me die.
Just do your thing. Just get it over with. We'll do this again on your birthday next year.
Samaj by year 10.
Fuck you.
No, thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, so how? Speaking of, because we were actually talking about nerd movies earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone actually catch Love Your Monday yesterday?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I briefly, I forgot Darnell was actually talking with me, and I know Samaj saw at least the first half. So what do you guys think of that article I brought up with the Solo movie?
No clue. So I didn't know. I didn't see it. So
It turns out the movie might be in more trouble than it already was. Not just because of production, not just because of the backstories behind how the making of the movie came to be and all that stuff. No. The posters, the promotional posters that Solo has been using is apparently plagiarism.
Oh, of what?
They outsourced an artist to do art for the posters and everything, and it seems as though that particular artist, who has not been named, just blatantly ripped off art from several album covers from some French artist. What was it? Hakim Hussein or something like that. And I just thought it was very interesting. I'm just like, wow, Solo just keeps getting fucking more and more reasons to be hated on.
Look, I'm just saying that Josh Whedon could easily fix this.
Are you Josh as in Josh or Joss as in Joss?
I'm talking like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Avengers,
Yeah.
Josh Whedon.
Joss,
It's-
Joss.
Yeah, it's Joss.
Do you or
not
do you
Josh.
not understand the words coming out of my mouth?
I do.
I know who I'm talking about, motherfuckers.
It's
I'm
weird.
saying to fix it.
You gotta
He's
say that more
Canadian.
black.
Accept it.
Yeah.
No, please, you gotta say that more
Look,
black.
you have to know what I'm talking about.
God damn it! I said more black, not more Canadian. You fuck.
Oh, don't you go talking to me like that, you hoser.
Don't you start.
He's evolving back into a proto Canuck.
Igor, hold my titties here. I gotta show this little hoser here how we do things down here in the north.
Oh my
We gotta
God!
burn
Somebody
him now.
take his Tim Hortons away.
Oh, you touch my tidbits, man. You're gonna get rassled.
I was
right?
in Toronto and I did not hear one person talk with an accent like that.
That's
You have to head to Newfoundland.
Yeah.
Like that in Ontario.
Let me tell you, Newfoundland is a beautiful place. Don't you ever fucking go there. It's terrible. It's beautiful, but let me tell you, it's full of drunks and fishermen. Fish smelling drunks.
Saskatchewan?
No, this Saskatchewan's fine. I like
Is
Saskatchewan.
is that a monkey or a dog? What the fuck are you?
I can't tell. It's just a woman was starting to dressing up her child like this.
That
It's Yoda. I got it. It's Yoda in his younger days. Sit on mommy's lap, I will.
Yoda, good boy, I was.
Why is this dog so badass looking? Dude, that dog is more cool looking than Sophie.
No, that dog is about to start painting happy trees on a canvas.
That is going to be a happy tree dog painting, but I'm just saying right now that dog is like at least 10 times cooler than Sophane. And Rosa, you can go ahead and tell him I said that.
Also, FYI for everyone, Hubble Bundle is doing a Bob Ross bundle if you want to get your artistic mood on.
What? With the Bob Ross? What?
Humble Bundle is doing a Bob Ross bundle, so like you can learn how to paint.
Take the dick out of your mouth when you speak. I swear to God, Darnell. I couldn't understand half the words you said. They just mumbled together.
Humble Bundle is
Now-
doing.
Now you're
a
just sounding a
Bob-
little slow.
Yeah,
Humble bundle.
I think the problem is that you're acting like we know what that is.
Yeah, I have no idea what Humble Bundle is.
It's a site that sells keys for Steam, and you can buy them dirt cheap typically. But now they've started to sell other stuff like actual books or video
Movies or
movies.
animes.
Yeah, but they'll sell them in giant bundles. So you pay what you want, and the more you pay, the larger the bundle is, the bigger the savings.
Okay.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah,
If
there
Humble
is-
Bundle wants to sponsor Renovations, it can go right ahead. I would be fine with that.
I think the thing is with sponsorship is that you have to apply for it.
Nope.
No?
Sponsors can approach you once you've broken the 1,000 subscriber level, though most people just approach others to get sponsorships. But they can approach you and make an offer to sponsor a single video or stream or sponsor a number of streams all at once. But you sign the contract, they give you money, and the only thing you have to do legally is click that button that says, this video is sponsored or is sponsored content. When you're setting up the stream or setting up the video to post, and then also make it very clear that when you're talking about the product or the site or whatever, that it's a sponsor. You've been paid to do that. It's a paid advertisement, and that's it. Then you go over it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel
Oh.
bad for this little girl.
That little girl is gonna be so fucking traumatized.
That little girl is going to be flooding the floor with fear. Are you kidding? VR Resident Evil Biohazard?
That's pretty much gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But Darnell, I need you to send me that Bob Ross dog in DMs or something, because I'm gonna tweet that out and tag Sophane in it, because I just want to both piss him off and make him smile.
All right, hold on. Bob Ross dog, Bob Ross dog, Bob Ross.
Why are you singing while you do this?
I don't know, to fill up the room.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Smosh.
We're not talking. We need to talk more. We need to fill it up with noise, random noise. I don't know what to talk about.
Don't you dare start jerking off on stream right now. I swear to God, Samaj. I know that, Schmeckel's gotten away with getting head here and there, but we don't need you just beating off with your tang egg.
Opal, she's in the chat going, guys, the eggs hatched. What eggs?
Opal, then get back on your contraceptive.
Did you try cooking eggs and then did they hatch?
I have questions.
My moth eggs hatched in my room. Moth egg. Hold on a second. All right, guys.
That's not really a good thing, Opal.
I don't need your consent. I'm saying Opal a link. I need to hear this.
Ren, stop copying me in DMs of dicks.
That's a super cock.
I don't need fucking DMs of blue Superman dicks on my timeline.
Oh my God, that's the best thing. I want that so I can smack my opponents on Thursday when we have the Superman versus Goku argument.
Then you can also go take it like a dick, super hard.
Is there a Goku dildo?
Oh, I'm sure there is.
No,
and I bet
there
it's,
is. I've seen it. There is.
and I bet its pubes are spiked, for an
No,
extra.
no. It's a colored flesh colored dildo with the orange uniform, and the back has the turtle school symbol on it.
Turtle shelled for her pleasure.
Opal says in the chat they have spikes. I think she's talking about the moths.
Yep.
Opal, you have the link. Get in here. We need to hear this.
Opal, You literally live in hell. You need to just escape or accept what is around you.
Hey, Opal, you know moths will eat clothes, right?
That's why I was saying that that's not a good thing to have moths flying around.
Don't bring up the whole.
That's why mothballs. That's why they invented mothballs that you can still buy in stores now. God.
And I can just hear the perverts
Spider
thinking to
cock.
themselves, "Oh, I want them to eat Opal's fucking bras or some shit." Wait, she's got tiny tits. She doesn't have bras.
You don't call the police for moths, Opal.
Opal.
Oh dear God.
You would call an exterminator, Opal, or you would just get some freaking mothballs, and then when they try to eat the clothes, they'll be attracted to the mothballs and then die. What? Why do I have to explain this? How?
It's Opal. That's why.
You literally weren't scared 3 seconds ago, woman.
Darnell, hearing you try to yell at someone or even tough talk someone is just adorable. Keep doing that. It's I don't know what it is. I think it's because it's just funny.
Because it sounds like a child yelling at another child.
God damn it, Ren! Stop tagging me in superhero cock fetish.
It's a master sword cock. It's too perfect. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ren, find me one of He-Man's sword.
All right. Oh, Opal, do you have like a towel or gloves nearby that you can put on your hands? Because if they're spiky, you need to kill them.
Also, you might have actually gone down some sewer pipe and are in the Mario Brothers world. Just saying. Uh-oh, you're surrounded by alt-righters. Somehow, when the alt-right was not invented, it was all right. Joseph Kerwin, $2. Could be vampire moths. Get some mosquito nets. Actually, Joseph does bring up a very interesting idea. They could be vampire moths. So run, Opal. Run as fast as you can. They keep wanting to come back, and they're moths. They want to eat your fucking cotton.
And they're attracted to light. Opal.
Opal, get a candle, light it, watch the fireworks.
Or set your house on fire, Opal, and then just walk away.
Your baby likes to set things on fire. Just get him to do it.
Don't give her ideas, Darnell. I swear to God, you are the male equivalent to Opal.
Is this very much like Ghostbusters? It's like, I'm the keymaster, she's the gatekeeper. Together we make Sewell.
I, for some reason, thought you were going to reverse that and say that you were the gatekeeper, and I was going to start laughing my ass off like, oh, great, look, Opal, you found the sounding guy.
Opal in the chat there says, "Do you trust me with fire?"
No.
That's a good question.
No, like I said, I trust your baby with fire.
Opal, I don't trust you with a plastic spork.
No.
I love how Red's in the background's adding to this. No. Oh my God, Opal. That at Darnell, if you keep going down this road, you're going to become Dopal. I swear to God.
Now you just sound like a Down syndrome Opal.
Yeah, you do. That's.
God damn it.
You're making it worse for yourself by making it better for us.
Opal, get in the chat or get in the room here. Give us a play-by-play about what's going on. Maybe we can help you.
Apparently, they're about ready to begin breathing fire and poison her with their spikes.
Yeah, they got
most likely.
spikes. I'm not used to that. That's a new one for me.
Brent
Vacuum
brings up
cleaner?
an excellent point. I do not trust Opal with knitting needles at all.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about that. She has to be next to a penis. And as far as we can tell, her man's imaginary.
I'll be right back. I got to let my dog inside.
Okay. You can't get to your headphones.
Just leave it be.
Here's
It's
a-
probably for the best.
Here's an interesting piece of nerd culture from Latin America.
Oh, Latin America.
Why does Homer look even more wasted than usual? He looks like hobo version of Homer Simpson.
Also, Fire donated $2. Samaj, check your DMs. I will.
Yeah, so basically, apparently, the guy that's been dubbing that was dubbing the Latin American version of The Simpsons died. So they put a statue of Homer saluting him.
Wasn't that the guy that would periodically voice the Spanish fly character that would be on some of the Krusty the Clown videos?
He is.
Yeah.
Wait, the Spanish fly? So the guy who's like,
The Spanish bee. Yeah, I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
We've been told to wrap it up, guys.
We'll wrap it up here in a bit. I'm a bit curious. Hold on a second. There, don't scroll up. There was Guillermo del Toro there.
Oh, that's from The Onion.
Oh, God damn it! I was hoping it was something good, something we can look forward to.
No, because pretty much ever since the Oscars, they've been just doing giant amounts of parody Guillermo del Toro. So the other one that The Onion did was Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Ren, you have been sending me superhero cocks for the last 30 minutes, and you pause to bitch and DM me a Pikachu butt plug. How are you even complaining about that?
Hey, man, you give her the dick, she's giving you the dick. That's
No,
how it works.
No, this
Also,
is... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, sorry guys, I sent a link out to Fire there. Sorry, do you want something to add to our little nerd stream here?
There's a Squirtle. There's a
I
Squirtle
will.
dildo as well from the same site. Just so you know.
Yeah. What
Who
was
the fuck is this guy?
This is Fire Nutter. Don't worry
Oh, this
about
is fun. Another. He's another Canuck, I see.
it. Yeah, exactly.
How do you see that I'm a Canuck?
Because your fucking name is Canuck.
Is it?
Yeah, you came in with the wrong account.
Oh shit. Oh well. Okay.
Also, you were talking to Samaj earlier about fucking, living and such in Canada.
Hey, I could just be fucking connected with the real estate, okay?
Okay.
You could, but I don't know a single American Canadian real estate agency.
Also, Opal, you have to kill them. All right? Grow some balls, become trans, and fucking kill them. They deserve to die.
Apple cider vinegar. From
There's
what
a good
I've
one.
found on the internet, that will kill everything except humans.
Apple cider vinegar. See, there you go. Wait, what should she do with it? Like pour it in a cup or
I have
spray it?
no idea. But
Opal doesn't want to kill
Every
them.
time
She
I've had
wants
an
them to
insect
terrorize
problem, they
her.
tell me apple cider vinegar.
Okay. Opal,
Apple cider
unless you
vinegar.
want your clothes to be eaten up and disappeared, you want to kill them. All right. You don't have a choice in the matter. Kill them.
Opal, set your fucking house on fire!
That's the only way your son will evolve into his final form.
Well, in that case, I don't think setting your house on fire is a good idea unless you have removed the child from said house, because we don't need him evolving into his final form as the seven-headed dragon. We don't need this, Opal.
All right, guys. But we have to wrap it up. Anything you want to add last minute? No? Good. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming on to the Cunt stream for Han Solo. We have Bruckus, Darnell, Igor. The last little minute there, we had Fernner. Thanks for coming. And the Ghost of Schmeckel. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.